Welcome back to DPSN. I'm Dylan Oliver, and I am back once again with my NFL predictions for the upcoming NFL season. Today, we're going to be predicting the record for the 4 AFC South teams. Let's start this off with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last year, the Jags got only one win, and I definitely believe they will get more than that this season with their new number 1 overall draft pick, Trevor Lawrence, at quarterback. But I still do not think they'll get too many wins with him. The Jags' 15-game regular season losing streak will end when they pick up a win over the Houston Texans in Week 1. The winning ways won't last for long though, as they will lose the next game against the Broncos before losing to the Arizona Cardinals the following week and then traveling to Cincinnati to pick up a loss to the Bengals. After that loss, the Jags will pick up a huge upset win over the Tennessee Titans to get to 2-3 on the season. After this game, the Jags have some very tough games, and I see them losing a whole lot. After their huge upset win over the Titans, they will go on an 8-game losing streak, falling to 2-11 before getting their 3rd win of the year over the Texans, sweeping them in the season series. After a win versus the Texans, we get one of the Jags' most intriguing matchups of their season. The number 1 pick in this year's draft, Trevor Lawrence, plays against the number 2 pick in this year's draft, Zach Wilson, as the Jaguars will play the New York Jets. In this game, Lawrence is going to show why he was clearly the best quarterback available in the draft and beat Zach Wilson and the Jets. The following week, the Jaguars will lose to the Patriots because Bill Belichick never loses to rookie quarterbacks, and then the Jaguars will lose again the next week to end the season 4-13. Up next, we got the Houston Texans. Last year, they were very disappointing, only getting 4 wins. This season, this team has many question marks and a lack of talent. One of the question marks is Deshaun Watson. With all of his allegations this offseason, there have been some rumors that he might not play this season or be suspended, making him miss most of the season. I'm not completely sure the legitimacy of those rumors, but I will be predicting the Texans' record as if Watson is not playing this season for them. Without Watson, this team is going to be awful. The Texans' roster is just full of decent but not good running backs, a decent O-line, and that's about it. I could definitely see this team being the worst in the league this year. The Texans will lose all 9 of their first games before going into their bye week. Coming out of their bye week, they will then lose to the Titans and Jets to start the year off 0-11. Right when it's looking like they actually could go 0-17, they will pull off a huge, well, not huge, but an upset victory over the division rival Indianapolis Colts. The Texans played the Colts very tough in both their games last year, and I believe the Colts have gotten worse in the offseason with the departure of Phillip Rivers. So, the Texans will pick up their first and only win of the season, as they will then lose the final 5 games of the year, finishing the season 1-16. Now, the division winners of last year were the Tennessee Titans, so let's predict them next. Trading for Julio Jones was of course great for this team. Having a player like that makes you a better team no matter what. But the Titans' pass rush and defensive side of the ball is still weak and will still cause this team to lose their usual amount of games. The Titans' season is going to start off rough. They will start off 0-2, losing to the Cardinals and Seahawks, before picking up wins in their next 2 games over the Colts and Jets. Like I said, early Week 5, the Jaguars will pick up an upset win over the Titans, dropping them to 2-3. and the Titans will also lose to the Bills. After the Titans lose this and fall to 2-4, they will turn their season around. They will have a huge win over the Kansas City Chiefs and then win again versus the Colts the following week. The week after, the Titans have a very tough matchup against the Rams in a game I think the Titans will lose. The Titans will win their next 4 games against the Saints, Texans, Patriots, and Jaguars, giving them the division lead and putting them back into their usual playoff positioning. After getting to a record of 8-5, they will pick up a loss against the Steelers before finishing the year strong on a 3-game winning streak, finishing the year at 11-6. And now, the final team we have today is the Indianapolis Colts. Like I said earlier, I believe they are going to be worse with Carson Wentz instead of Phillip Rivers this year. Yes, Wentz should be better than he was last year in Philly because Indianapolis has a much better offensive line, but the Colts also don't really have weapons for Wentz to throw the ball to. And I believe their inability to create space from the defenders is really going to hurt Wentz and this Colts team this offseason. They will take a while to figure this out, as they will lose their first 3 games of the season before figuring something out on this team and going on a nice 3-game winning streak, with one of the wins being an upset victory over the Baltimore Ravens. After the Colts get to 3-3, they will split their next 4 games, going 2-2 in them, getting to 5-5 on the year. The next 2 games for the Colts are very difficult, and they will lose both games before playing against the Texans in a game I think could be a trap for the Colts, and I could see them choking and losing to the Houston Texans. The Colts will go into a bye week after that and pick up a win versus the Patriots before losing to both the Cardinals and Raiders, and then ending the season on a high note with a win over the Jaguars. I love this team's talent. They have a great defense, great running game, and a fantastic offensive line. But after the season Carson Wentz had last year in Philly and the lack of production from these Colts receivers last season, I can't make them playoff contenders this year. They will go 7-10 and miss the playoffs. After a very impressive season last year, they will heavily regress this season. Thank you for watching. That's all I have for this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tune in next time when I'll predict the record for the 4 NFC East teams. I'm Dylan Oliver, and I will see you next time.